You know that line from Led Zeppelin? Ramble on? That's exactly what the Royal Enfield Bear 650 feels like, man. Built to ramble. Big tank, wide bars, and that twin-cylinder chump that makes you wanna ride till the horizon melts.
But here's the question. When you do ride all day, what's your fuel gauge doing? Is it playing nice or falling faster than your playlist's battery?
Exactly. Today on the Common Thump, we're putting the Royal Enfield Bear 650's mileage under the scanner. Not what the brochures claim, but what you'll actually get. City crawling, highway hauls, and loaded up weekend escapes. We'll talk the good, the gritty, and the gas-guzzling truth. Because a 650cc ADV twin with taller suspension and wind drag, 26 km per liter sounds optimistic, doesn't it? Depends. Ride it smart, ride it smooth, and the Bear might just surprise you.
Let's unpack how real-world riders can get the best out of this beast, liter by liter.
Stick around,
Right,
the truth's
let's get
coming,
into it.
and it's
The
got
big
twin
question.
pipes.
Can the Bear 650 actually give you 26 kilometers per liter?
Short answer, yes, but not everywhere, not always.
Exactly. Let's break it down. In the city, you're looking at 22 to 24 kilometers per liter, tops. That's with all the gear shifts, stop-go traffic, and a bit of impatient throttle work.
Yeah, mate, and once you throw on panniers, top box, and a bag of groceries, make that closer to 22.
True, that weight adds up, and so does the wind drag from the taller front.
Now, on the highway, that's where it behaves. Sit at 80 to 90 kilometers per hour in 6th gear, keep your wrist light, and you'll see 25, maybe even 26 kilometers per liter on clean stretches.
But the moment you start overtaking hard or hit an incline in the hills, that number drops. Crosswinds, steep climbs, sudden pulls, expect 23 or so.
One thing people forget, this isn't an Interceptor with a different jacket. Taller suspension, different ergos, maybe heavier. So fuel economy is gonna shift.
And tire choice matters. ADV tires equals more rolling resistance equals slightly lower mileage. Same with engine health. Dirty filters, old oil, misfires, all eat into that sweet 26.
But honestly, if you ride with a bit of brain, not full race mode, this thing can hold its own. Consistent throttle, mid-range cruising, and it'll give you numbers worth smiling at the petrol pump.
So verdict so far? Don't expect miracles, but don't cry either. The Bear 650 is a touring twin that wants to go the distance, and it won't bleed you dry.
650 isn't for someone chasing numbers. It's for someone who understands that 26 kmpl isn't a trophy. It's a side effect of knowing how to ride this machine right.
Exactly, mate. If you're the kind of rider who's always late, always redlining, and treating every open road like a racetrack, then this bear's gonna drink like it's on vacation.
But if you're chill, someone who loves sitting at 85 kmph and watching the world slide past, this bike will reward you with solid, steady mileage. I'm talking 25-26 kmpl even with soft luggage and mile inclines.
I've seen it. Did a weekend ride to Chikmagalur, solo, saddlebag, light wrist, 25.4 km per liter by the time we hit the return pump. And that's without any fuel hacks or weird octane boosters.
So if you're asking who should buy the Bear 650, the answer is simple. Distance riders. Folks who love 200-300 kilometer days, who cruise instead of chase, who enjoy the pull of a parallel twin more than the push of a deadline.
And honestly, if you ride mostly with light gear, solo or with a cooperative pillion, you'll never feel underpowered or under-mileaged.
Yeah, but if you're loading this bike like a desert camel, top box, crash bar, panniers, spare fuel, tripod, and expecting 30 kmpl, you're dreaming, boss.
You've got to treat it like a partner, not a pack mule.
Ride smooth, keep it in that mid-range sweet spot, and this bear will sip, not gulp. It's not about nursing the throttle. It's about respecting the rhythm of the engine.
So if your style is 80% exploration, 20% acceleration, then yeah, the Bear is your kind of machine.
Coming up next, how to actually boost your mileage on this bike without riding like a saint.
Alright, so
Tips,
you've got your
tricks,
Bear
and
650.
real-world
You love the torque, you love the stance, but you also don't want to sell a kidney every time you refuel. Let's talk how to squeeze the best mileage out of this adventure twin.
First rule, keep it steady. This engine's got torque for days, but it's happiest when you're cruising around 80-90 kilometers per hour in 6th. That's the sweet spot. Push it beyond that too often and mileage drops like your phone in a pothole.
Second, watch your weight. I'm not talking about hitting the gym. I'm talking about what you bolt onto the bike. Crash guards, panniers, jerry cans, fog lights, tail rack. Every little mod adds drag.
And then there's throttle control. Some riders treat the throttle like a fidget spinner, constantly flicking it. But if you want good numbers, you gotta ride it smooth. Let that torque flow. Don't yank it like a hungry street dog.
And don't ignore the basics. Clean air filter, properly lube chain, fresh oil, correct tire pressure. I've seen mileage drop 2 to 3 kilometers per liter just because someone skipped a basic chain lube.
Same here. And here's a weird one. If you're doing long tours, avoid topping off with shady fuel. I once filled up at a Daba pump in rural MP. Bro, the Bear coughed its way to 21 kilometers per liter and hated me for 2 days.
Oh man, that bad fuel blues is real. And one more thing, engine heat. When you're in crawling traffic, try not to keep slipping the clutch. The twin gets hot and hot engines guzzle more. If you're stuck, find neutral, breathe and let the engine settle.
So yeah, you don't have to ride like a grandma, but you do have to ride like someone who respects their machine. Because the Bear's smart, but it remembers when you treat it rough.
Coming up next is a memory from a highway ride where fuel efficiency saved our skin. Maybe me, Chris and 2 other guys decided to do a last-minute ride from Coimbatore to Valparai. Didn't plan fuel stops properly. You know where this is going.
Oh yeah. One of the lads had a Super Meteor. Gorgeous bike, but he was riding it like he was late for a wedding. By the time we hit the ghat section, his low fuel light was blinking like Diwali.
I remember pulling over, checking our bikes. I had the Bear 650. I'd been cruising chill. 85 to 90, no silly pulls. And guess what?
Your fuel bar hadn't moved, man. Mine was already sweating, his was begging for mercy, and you were just vibing.
We rolled into Valparai with his bike literally choking. The Bear still had 2 bars left. No stress, no drama. That's where it hit me. Mileage isn't about the engine alone. It's about the rider's rhythm.
That was the day I started calling your bike the accountant, because it knew how to stretch every rupee of fuel.
True. It wasn't the fastest, but it was the smartest. That's what this episode's really about, yeah? The Bear 650 is not here to race. It's here to roam. And it'll go far if you go easy.
So here's the last word. Respect the torque, ride the rhythm, and the Bear won't bite your wallet.
This is the Common Thump signing off with a full tank, a light throttle hand, and just enough petrol to chase the next sunrise.
Ride safe, folks, and maybe throw in a backup jerry can, just in case your friends still think mileage is a myth.